Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the vlog. It is Monday, August 10th. 1 week down in August. That's wild. And we're doing a day in the life today. Bit of a late start on filming. It was kind of a hectic morning with family over. My mother-in-law was over for the weekend, down for the weekend from Maine. So we were just spending time with everybody. And then just kind of got going with the day and forgot to pick up the camera. But here we are now. Already got a run in. So I did 2 short loops, 6.2 miles. Nice and chill. Did the first loop with Carly, my youngest sister-in-law. Had my hot suit on, the sauna suit. And then did a second loop after that. Nice and chill. A little shakeout kind of recovery after big week last week. Right now I'm prepping my first proper meal of the day. I'm going to cook up some eggs, have a little bit of toast, maybe some fruit, and then I am going to hook up the Frost Fit compression boots. Rock those for 30 minutes while I do some admin work. And then after that, probably gonna head out and I gotta do some grocery shopping. I'm gonna go into the gym to film some content. Boom. Might do a class this afternoon. I'm decided. And continue to just try to grow the business. So that's the rough rundown on the morning. So, all right, well, I just filmed some content for the little Instagram account for this week at the gym. Successful, efficient, happy with that. Now I am headed to the grocery store, get some grocery shopping done. Earlier today when I was still home, I didn't film because the Norman Tech boots are sometimes kind of loud. But I went through on a couple of like community Facebook groups and posted flyers of my business, the one that I have posted here in the gym. Posted my location. Obviously I posted it so my Facebook profile is there, just as a way of getting a little bit more marketing in. I also handled an insurance issue with a client. Spoke with a lovely woman with Anthem, which I don't tend to have positive interactions with insurance companies. They kind of suck. But she was great. She was very helpful. We got to the bottom of the issue. Shocker, a weird AI glitch that didn't process all the information that was submitted. So she went through and manually pushed that through for my patient to get her claims acknowledged, hopefully get reimbursement, but at the very least have that counted towards her deductible, because otherwise nothing was going to happen and they were just going to let that slide. So, you know, things that really piss me off with insurance companies, added to the list. Just letting people not be able to use their benefits towards services that are warranted, and doing anything they can to not acknowledge or pay their share. Like, just really pisses me off. So I got that squared away. She is very happy as a result, which makes me happy. And then I came here, and now I'm heading to the grocery store, and then I'm gonna go back to the farm with the dogs, walk them for a little bit, I think. And then maybe Casey and I are gonna go to the movie tonight. Might go see The Odyssey, although the new Spider-Man movie is out as well. But that is the plan. That's how the past couple hours have been. So it's warm. I'm gonna turn the AC back on, and then I am going to actually plug this thing in because the battery's pretty low and it's about to die. So I will catch up with you guys after the grocery store when I'm back home. All right, back home. Well, not home anymore. I'm in the car. Because, you know, when else do I film? Solid grocery store haul. Got some milk, got some yogurt, got a whole mess of fruit. Fired on some figs. I've had figs in the past. Not a huge fan, but you know what? Casey likes them. Figured maybe I'll give them another whirl. I think they were on sale. Got a couple other odds and ends, but it was a nice quick little pop in. Now heading to the farm to go for a little walk with the dogs. I don't know if I'm gonna go on the trail or just down the dirt road. Kind of a game time decision. Yeah, gonna go for a walk down the road. Stay off the trails. Nice, easy, flat stroll. Gotta edit today's reel, Mobility Monday. Probably gonna work on my post for later in the week, which is a little compilation, a little call out to those who just think stretching things is the answer, when in fact it hardly ever is. And then as I'm back from the walk, I'm gonna head back home and do a little bit of computer work. I gotta fix up some things for a patient to submit to the insurance, those forms I was telling about earlier. I gotta submit or resubmit after modifying some forms for my patient. Apparently there's an additional modifier after the internal audit that the insurance company did that needs to be put on the billing information, which are like these random, weird, ridiculous modifiers. This one in particular basically just states that services were done by a physical therapist. Absolutely ridiculous that that's got to be done, because all of my licensing, tax, and billing information linked to me as a physical therapist is on there. So why these modifiers need to be done in addition to is a redundancy, asinine, and one additional way for insurance companies to deny any sort of payment, reimbursement, or acknowledgement towards your plan that you pay a ton of money for. So, and that's as simple as me just literally going through each of the 8 invoices, adding it, and emailing it to her. It's just so frustrating that that is the method, that is what's holding her back. Absurd. Absolutely absurd. Asinine. Asinine is the word. So I'm gonna start editing that reel for today, fire that off. I'll catch up with you guys after. All right, walk done. Reels edited, posted, and scheduled. So the week is done in terms of social media, and heading back home to, I guess, start prepping dinner. Solid day. Actually, before I start prepping dinner,
are like, well, the data don't.
I gotta take care of that insurance information for the patient. So quickly update those, send those over. There's no easy way of like bulk sending them over, so I gotta do each individual one. Or there's no easy way. There's no easy way to bulk, I guess, change it or fix it, which makes sense because it's an individual date of service and invoice, but I just wish there was an option for something like this. So I'll be doing that, and then prepping dinner. Potentially going to the movies tonight. Still haven't heard. Casey's got an audit going on at work. This is the first day of it, so kind of hectic, kind of busy. So I'll find out on the movie when she gets home. But I hope to at least have some dinner prep for her. So let me catch up with you guys back at the house. All right, it's the next morning, Tuesday morning. Not much happened after filming some from yesterday. Quiet evening. Chill dinner with Casey, and we pretty much read the remainder of the evening. Pretty gnarly thunderstorm rolled through though, so that was kind of neat. Went to bed early and got some really good sleep in. Heading down to the farm now to feed and run. The original plan was to do between 8 and 9 miles, just chill, kind of shake out miles, because tomorrow the plan is to do a treadmill workout with some hill intervals, so a little bit more controlled, a little bit more sustained efforts than what I can maybe necessarily access otherwise running outside. I don't have a hill that I can run for 3 to 4 minutes consecutively. Today was just going to be a nice easy run, like I said, 8 to 9 miles. But my foot is still a little sore. My right foot, kind of the outside part of that. Mostly the top of it feels more soft tissue, especially when I go and kind of poke around in there. So we'll see what like a light jog down the road feels like, but it might be a much lighter day today. Maybe 4 miles. We'll see. Waylon was an absolute nuisance last night. Pinned to my side, which is, you know, cute at face value. But then he like pushes me closer and closer to the edge of the bed. And I tend not to sleep with a shirt on, and so his claws are like pressing into my back, like waking me up in the early hours of the morning. And excuse me. And then he starts like licking, grooming himself incessantly. It's disgusting. Ugh. So I came downstairs shortly after 5:30, and normally he'd follow, but he didn't. He stayed upstairs and probably continued to bother Casey. So I got some stuff done. I read today's passage of the Daily Stoic. I got my Spanish lesson in. I did the 5-minute journal, AM portion, and I read for like 40 minutes. Because I wasn't going to go down without him because he needs the exercise. So it was actually a really productive, calm morning. So, like you said, somewhere between 4 and 9 miles this morning. Although I don't have any water, so that part's gonna kind of suck. And then I gotta feed the animals. And then head back home, eat, shower, do all the things, and then I gotta head to work. Tonight is my later shift, so 10:30 to 7. I do not remember what my schedule looked like. So we'll see when I get into the office. All right, well, run done, 4.3 miles, one big loop. Felt a little bit more labored than it probably should have felt, but I am carrying a decent amount of fatigue over the past week into today, and the foot is still a little bit off. It's not terrible. It actually felt better than I expected it to. But it's still a little bit stiff and achy. Something to monitor. And it's humid, it's muggy, so I think that might have played a role as well. But in any event, miles in.
Caution, unpaved road.
That never gets old. Miles in, animals are fed. Whoever was supposed to feed last night didn't, because I had let the chickens out yesterday afternoon, and when I got down here, the chickens were all out, which means they were not closed in last night, which means nobody fed them last night. And that pisses me off because I just feel like people don't have accountability anymore. Thankfully, I didn't see that any had been taken, so we got lucky there. But that's just asking for our poor chickies to get picked off. So they would love to be out. They probably should be out today, but I don't want to tempt fate. So heading back now. Going to eat. I am starving. I am so hungry. Don't really know why. Just, it's not like I'm in any more of a caloric deficit or cut than I've been in the past several weeks at this point. Which I don't know if I ever actually discussed that part. So one of my goals in training, in prep, was to actually lean out a little bit and shed a little bit of excess weight that was otherwise just sort of useless weight. I got a little chubby over the winter and spring, so I actually ended up dropping, I'd say I'm probably down about 12 pounds from the beginning of the training block. I was right around 197 or so when I started training, and I'm down to 185, so I'm happy with that. But I don't know, today for whatever reason, I feel famished, I feel starving. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna eat protein heavy, get it in now earlier in the day, especially because this is my later shift, so I don't want to be eating super late tonight. But that's the day in the life. We're just about at, well, it's a little under a 24-hour period from when I started filming yesterday, but that is the span of 24 hours, day in the life of a PT entrepreneur, starting and building his own practice while also living life, training for an ultra marathon. Yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next vlog. We're coming up on race week. We got a few more weeks, so some fun things coming up. I will see you guys later.